It is relatively easy to create a Hello module with Node.js. Much more work is necessary if you intend to create a complete web framework. For example, when a request is received at the server for a resource, such as a web page or web service, you typically need to route the request to get the proper resource. You might also want to implement sessions to hold data between each request. What about authentication? It doesn't make sense for you to create this framework when you can install a more streamlined framework. The Express framework provides a thin layer of features over Node.js where performance is maintained. In this tutorial, we're gonna just use Express to handle HTTP requests, visitor, and return HTML web pages. So let's open the web.js file located at your website folder with Notepad++. Then we're gonna make a call to the Express and HTTP libraries, also known as packages, by using the require function. Then create a new Express application object with the Express function. This object provides many time-saving features rather than creating everything from the beginning in Node.js. The HTTP Node.js library allows us to create a web server. So let's use the HTTP object to create a server based on the Express object. Then we need to add a listen function that will be called when the server is executed. Use the port 8080 as the port to listen on, and it's absolutely necessary to respect the uppercase letters. You can create HTML pages that can be retrieved automatically with a minimum of code. The app.use method and the static middleware for Express allows us to accomplish this task, as I'm gonna be showing you now. Express.static specifies the location of static files, which dname stands for the name of the directory that the currently executing script resides in. For this case, it's the website folder. And public is the folder that contains your HTML files. Express also provides the ability to define routes by using the app.method syntax, in which method is the HTTP method or verb. So we're gonna define a route that matches a request by using the get method and a relative URL that has no file name in it. The app.get method accepts a second parameter and indicates a callback function that runs when a request occurs. Inside the callback function, we're gonna redirect the user to default.html. Now we need to edit your default HTML and CSS files, the same files that we're gonna use for creating the chat service web application. So we're gonna use this chapter to get ready. For this task, I invite you to download the HTML and CSS files that I provided for you in the download area. The default HTML file contains references to the default style sheet, jQuery, socket-io.js, and default.js file. And it's absolutely necessary to respect the order of the referenced files. In the body element, we have a div element for the user list, and a div element for the conversation that contains text box, button, and a div element to write send in display conversation. The default.css file contains same style rules for your default web page. So now we need to run our application to check if the app.use and the app.get method had defined route correctly. For that, let's open the command prompt and then navigate to the location of your website folder. Then type the Node keyword. Now we need to type the Node keyword and then the name of our entry point, which is web. Then open your browser and navigate to localhost at port 8080. We perceive that the page was redirected to default.html by using a network sniffer program. You can see the commands sent and the responses received. Almost all browsers has a built-in network sniffer that is part of the developer tools and that you can access by pressing the F12 function key. Let's navigate to localhost at port 8080 again and see what's happened. As you can see, when the URL does not include a file name, two requests are received by the server. The first request was sent to the app.get method that responds by another request to app.use method because it's necessary to pass by the app.use method to serve static HTML files to the browser. If we include file name at the URL, as you can see here, we have one request. The request is automatically received by the app.use method and a response is sent to the browser. Express.js also provides an important aspect of handling errors. A basic understanding of Express.js and routing can help you handle any HTML error page. For example, when you send an undefined URL, the browser informs you that you have no route to handle. So to handle this error, it's very simple. We're gonna just change the relative URL in the app.get method by a star. This means that for any GET request not already handled, use this route. It is important that this route be added last, otherwise it will prevent a real request from being handled. Then you need to restart your application to check the result. To stop running, you don't need to close the command prompt window. You can just press Ctrl+C to cancel. And then we will use the same Node keyword to run your application. Let's back to our page, then go ahead and refresh your page.